say anything about this community, you're labeled as hating all of them. And I think that's a bullshit, weak argument, okay? We have to start calling it out because that's the attitude that we're seeing. A 12-year-old, that kid's life is absolutely ruined. And this isn't a small case. It's happening every single day. I see this shit in the news and they don't report it. And it drives me crazy.
And I'll go add one more thing here. I'm only going to call this guy 90% at fault. The other 10% is, what the hell is a 12-year-old boy doing with a mobile phone and a dating app? Where are the parents? Or is this child in foster care without proper custodianship? What is going on with this 12-year-old boy who is actually on the dating app where he could be, deceived and subject to the predatory activities and the false affinity and the false liking and things that go on there, that when they talk about the way that they go after the kids is to befriend them and to make them feel like, oh, you're normal, no one else is here. What on earth is going on that this 12-year-old is here? This is why, parents, the first line of defense is you, parents. The first line of defense is no. We get forced into, in the financial services industry, a lot of extra training, which is necessary under a thing called KYC. Know your customer. And we take courses on it.
Yeah, I thought you were going to keep going.
No. It's know your customer, and it's anti-money laundering and know your customer, and training so people don't get deceived in financial fraud. And they show you all the ways it could happen. If parents are not out there finding out exactly what and how it can happen on phones, and they're taking steps so that their child can be in contact with them at school, after school athletics, need a phone, need communication, need to do that. But you also need to be aware of what's on there and be that first line of defense. So I put 10% on the parents or the foster system or whoever was out here, because people, and it may not be a parent. Adam is an amazing uncle to a nephew, and I know for fact they've had conversations about these kind of things, about staying safe and who do you associate with and what do you do. The first line of defense is you.
That's 100% true on what happens. There's an old clip by a guy that was interviewed. I'm sure many of you have seen it if you watch the People podcast. If you're newer, maybe you haven't seen it. A pedophile is being interviewed. You know which one I'm talking about.
Oh, this one bothers me.
Pedophile is being interviewed, and he explains who his target is. And Rob, if you can pull this up, he shares exactly who his target is. And Rob, go ahead and play this clip here. I'm trying to go to the part of what he says. Go ahead.
Lonely kids.
Watch this.
Oh my gosh.
Grooming. I would check out their family situation. I would check out their clothing, see how well they were, financially. I would check out their social interaction with other kids. When we were on the ballpark or on the gym floor, I would make sure which ones I wanted to molest. I would give them special attention, congratulate them, talk to them when I know that I would never be allowed to talk to anybody else.
Until this gets hateful,
aside from everybody, I would give them the attention that an official is not supposed to give anybody, and it made them feel like, wow, he's paying me attention. It is a direct form of grooming.
Were there certain characteristics that you look for in children before molesting them?
In children, yes, but more I also looked at their families. If I thought the father was a threat, I would not approach the child. If I thought that the child had friends that he would tell, I would not approach him. If I thought the child had friends that were in the same capacity he was, I would approach him. For the simple fact that if I could molest him, I could lure him into believing, grooming him into believing that he would enjoy it. And therefore, I could manipulate him into having his other friends come and be molested by me as well.
You know how many things that should do it?
What the hell?
Piece of shit.
Had scars on your...
By the way, you know how old this interview is? Rob, can you find when this interview was? What's the guy's name? He was 12 years in prison, molested children in the 80s. By the way, this is a very old interview. This is not a new interview like what happened last week. This is a very, very old interview what happened to him, but he's sharing his insights on what happened. it's interesting. I'm going to go to this next one here for you to think about. Some companies thought it was good to jump on a bandwagon of LGBTQ because they thought the market really wanted it. And
Jaguar
What
failing.
do you think? You think
Yep,
about
I knew it. I
buying
knew.
a car. Jaguar's a sick car.
Yeah, down
So watch-
95 to 98%.
Yeah. So watch what the market said about their ad. Rob, you can play this ad. We don't have to watch the whole thing because we don't want to restrict the audience. We can play a little bit for them to see it. And go ahead, play the clip. Watch this, folks. This is the ad that Jaguar did, thinking you're going to go buy a Jaguar.
Parental discretion is a cost.
So literally,
Yeah,
they did
literally.
this ad
Killed my
thinking-
favorite brand,
They
Jaguar.
didn't do it. A marketing company did it. But they did this with the intention of thinking it would cause you to go want to buy. Look at this.
So wait for the car. Pat, you ready for this? Guys, just wait for the vehicle. Ready for Jaguar's newest vehicle? Ready? Here it comes. Okay. And
No car.
no car,
All right.
just a rock.
No, seriously. So you see this? Watch what
I
this
thought
does.
Iraq was a country.
Jaguar sales, Rob, do you have a video clip on what it says it did or no? Is
I don't. That was just that video.
I got you. Jaguar sales collapses 97% in
Yeah.
Europe
95,
amid
98%.
controversial rebrand and EV translation. This is the Economic Times. British luxury car maker Jaguar experienced a 97.5% sales collapse in Europe, with only 49 vehicles registered for sale in April of 2025 compared to 1961 last year, okay, the previous year, and a 75.1% year-to-date drop of 2,665 cars sold from January to April following a controversial rebrand launch in November 2024. The rebrand, part of Jaguar Land Rover's shift, is fully electric, ultra-luxury brand by 2025, featured androgynous models, slogans like "Copy Nothing" and "Live Vivid," and a claw-like logo drawn criticism from Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who stated, abandoning its core identity. The rebrand minimalist campaign aimed at a younger, diverse audience.
Dumbest thing. Well, honestly, I think Jaguars are extinct in
product gap as its new EV, including
next
a $200,000 Ford GT
couple years.
late 2025, is not yet available. Competing automakers like BMW, Audi, and EV sales rise by 32.4% and 50.4% respectively in the same quarter, while Jaguar, like a new model since 2023, has left showroom nearly empty. Vinny, your thoughts on this?
I mean, like,
I don't think any sales guy
California,
was on
how
board
they
with this
treat their
rebrand.
research. We talk about New York and how you guys are not getting it and not adjusting and shifting. This is the same thing that happened with Jaguar. As if they didn't get the biggest case study in the history of trying to push this LGBTQ shit down somebody's throat with Bud Light. How much money did Bud Light lose having Dylan Mulvaney, a dude still with his testicles and all of his man parts, pretending to be a woman, telling grown men, telling Americans, you guys know the dynamic who drinks Bud Light, it's Shane Gillis and it's all those guys, pushing that to have them drink beer and use that, and they lost how many trillion, Rob? Because of Dylan Mulvaney, they lost $1.4 billion. Okay, Dana White and now they, Shane Gillis.
By the way, that's safe. Market value, they lost $27 billion.
Oh, I'm sorry. The company lost $27 billion because of one decision. And I remember the marketing girl who was sitting there. She had a freaking rainbow behind her. Okay, when are people going to get it, guys? When I was drinking and making stupid decisions and everything, thank God I adjusted. I shifted gears, and I pray for people that are going through it, that you can find it out and figure out, why am I making these horrible decisions? Why is everything falling apart in my life? Oh, it's the drinking, okay? Let me, with the help of my friends and family and Pat and Adam, all you guys, let me adjust. Let me go to church. Let me go talk to people that have been through it. I don't understand, Tom, and maybe you could help me. All these people that are just clinging to this small minority group that is not only doing the stuff that we saw with the 12-year-old boy, when it comes to companies still bowing down to the small freaking group as if it's going to work. We just saw, and it's an old one, a Jaguar commercial that didn't show me the car. Show me the car at
Yeah,
the
for
beginning.
real.
Have all those freaking psychos inside of it, but show me the car. They're still clinging onto it. I'm so happy that we're kind of, especially during Trump hat with the military and Pete Hegseth and everything, that it's kind of dwindling away. But the small group, that small minority, is still hanging on. And as a business, I don't understand it, but good for you. Good for you. You deserve everything that you're gonna get if you keep hanging on to the stupid image and the
Yeah.
stupid ass ideology that you think that little group is gonna save your cars. Bull poo.
I got something for you.
Well said. When the minority speaks for the majority, you get consequences, and these are business consequences here. This is a minority attempting to push its viewpoints on the majority, and it backfiring spectacularly. 2 months ago, I double-checked, and the Jaguar USA website has no reference to the new logo or the things that are in this ad. They basically said, turn that thing off, and it went back to the old, I saw it, it was the old Jaguar, the old logo, everything on the US website. And going to Bud Light, you had a marketing VP. Now your job as a marketing VP is saying, hey, how can we get more middle-aged moms to appreciate Bud Light because it has less calories? How can we get more people to appreciate our products? That's called market share expansion. That's called your job. However, when you sit there and you say, well, I think the market was just too fratty.
Pretty sweet
Remember, that
mug.
was a word she used, fratty.
It's my
So
favorite
I'm not
mug.
saying allegedly, I'm saying you used the word fratty in a statement that many people, including me, found to be, in terms of marketing, completely inept. And you determined that with Dylan Mulvaney, you would go out and chase this other market, but you basically imploded the presence you had with your existing market. That's what Jaguar did. They went to chase a new market and they imploded everything. Look, this has been going on in marketing and advertising for a while. We're in the echo chamber of marketing thought, which contains a lot of people and lifestyles that do not look. Madison Avenue advertising, the people that are there are good at their jobs and they're great, but they also recognize that by and large the lifestyle that's in the advertising industry is different from the core market, but they respect it. There are those who respect it and go out and market to get mass adoption. In other words, do your job for the company. Others believe it that they now have an opportunity to be political activists under the banner. So the irony, capitalism gave them their foundation and their stage to go state their case, and people voted no. And I like to know the 3% in England that actually bought the Jaguar.
Yeah.
You're going to stick out.
Yeah,
So it's like,
big time.
But that's it. Capitalism was working, and then they used the stage that capitalism gave them for Bud Light and Jaguar of decades of success. And they went out there and say, on the stage of capitalism, I'm changing it, until, guess what? They got the middle finger from the consumer.
Good.
Adam, your thoughts before we wrap up.
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
just ask any sales guy there
everyone
what their recommendation
has a
was.
base. Any
Not that.
politician has a base. Any company has a base. Trump has the MAGA base. Bernie Sanders has the progressive base. Who is the base of Jaguar, you may ask? So it's British luxury. I feel like it's like Sean Connery, 007, James Bond style. And it's just been completely hijacked by the LGBTQ rainbow mafia. So there's symbolism here, there's a metaphor here. Anytime I hear the word London, it's almost like it's Canada. London's fallen. I'll tell you, like London Bridge is falling down, the song we all knew as kids. Anyone I talk to who's in Canada, Canada's just a mess, it's falling. London's a mess, it's falling. So does it surprise you that the #1 luxury car in the UK, in London, has gone the way of the LGBTQ mafia? So they say know your audience, or don't abandon your audience. You ever seen the stat of the Fortune 500 companies that are no longer in the Fortune 500? I think since 1980, only 10% of the Fortune 500 companies that were in it then are still in it now. Why are they no longer there? It's because they failed to maybe innovate. They didn't recognize change soon enough, or some of them just didn't avoid catastrophic mistakes. This is a catastrophic mistake by Jaguar. And it might lead to bankruptcy. It might lead to being insolvent. And if you think that's not going to happen to you, I started my financial career when Lehman Brothers, when Bear Stearns, some of the biggest financial institutions in the world are no longer with us. So there's no guarantee that your company is going to be here tomorrow. And Jaguar, unfortunately, might be the latest example of a massive company that goes the way of the dinosaur.
Yeah, and those are good points that hold all three of you. Capitalism is very honest. If you if you get the customer, they have plenty of other places to go. Very simple. Especially your loyal customers. They have many, many options. And going back to everybody, we appreciate you guys. You want to accept the Strangers podcast. Text them. Maybe I'll put that on the podcast. Very good text messages right now. Don't text me on the show with you. Talk to Rob. But I'll talk to you guys about it next on Thursday when we do the live podcast. Gang, a couple things again. Remember merch. 4th of July, sport the gear. First 50 that place the order over $400, we'll be FaceTiming you. Everybody else, go get a Future Looks Pride hat, shirt, gear, family, friends, best friends. Get the orders, send it to them, give them a gift. Let's spread the messaging of Future Looks Pride because I fully believe it does. And that level of optimism is there, whether it's good times, bad times, ugly times. And we're convinced 2026 will be a very special year as we get into it. Having said that, love you guys. We'll do this again.
PBD. Dude, I love PBD podcast.
We're getting into the final shows for the Return of the Rat Tour. Gosh, this rat is almost fully returned. July 9th, we'll be in Philadelphia, Rochester, New York on July 10th. Then we're in Detroit after that. Moving on, we're in Los Angeles, Anaheim, at the Honda Center in Oceanside, California. You can get all your tickets at theovon.com/TOUR. And just thank you so much for your support. Today's guest is a musician out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, baby, out the boot. He crosses many genres like rap, R&B, soul. He does it all. This dog, he a 101. He a 101. He's got a new album on the way, Luca Brasi 4. And he's heading out on a huge tour this October. I'm grateful to sit down with my Louisiana amigo, Mr. Kevin Gates. Yeah, that's tough, man.
Yeah, I got this from, I collect these kind of hats. I bought 2 of them this time because I put dents in them.
Really?
Every time I travel.
What, just traveling, setting it somewhere?
Yeah, and they get smushed every time.
Yeah. Yeah, a hat is kind of hard to take care of. That's the only thing I don't love about a hat. Like, if I'm on a plane, I'll put it, and then I'll take a nap, it'll fall off the seat or something.
Every time.
Yeah, you look sharp, man.
Thank you.
Recently, I started feeling in my own life, man, I wish that I dressed up a little bit more. I just wish that.
It's like how you do anything is how you do everything. So I'm like, I prepare for something great to happen. Every time I leave the house, I prepare for something great to happen. Like, even when I go to the gym, I prepare for something great to happen.
Yeah, that's an energy. I think I just started thinking that. Like, yeah, I want to just, because then I want to be excited about how I even look, you know? Like, I mean,
I only got Well, I got multiple suits, but I only got like 4 colors that I wear. I got a gray suit, got like 3 or 4 of them, got like 3 or 4 black suits, got like 3 or 4 navy suits, and I got like 3 or 4
Easy,
they
dude.
like different
Easy
shades. So
plays.
I say like a tan and a darker tan.
You like them?
Yeah, I just love suits. I love them. They look fly.
You've always been pretty stylish, actually. I remember you and I went to a Super Bowl together. I don't know if you remember it or not.
Yeah, that was when I had the turtleneck on with the slacks.
Yeah, that's when I realized I was like, oh, Kevin's doing something different. Because you hear rumors about Kevin. You hear people like, Kevin, you know, Kevin
I'm
out
like
there.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, he's staring at the moon. Kevin out there, he hiding in the tree branches and stuff. You hear a lot of rumors like that. You know,
Probably
like
shooting my bow and arrow.
yeah,
I do that a lot.
he's out there. He babysitting bats or
Oh,
something.
excuse me. Shout out to Mike at Cabela's.
He's your guy.
Yeah, he the one who he dialed my bow and arrow in for me. Like dialed it in, like set the sights on it for me.
I haven't
Shout
used
out to
one.
him.
But yeah, you hear everything about that Kevin Gates. He's out there, he breastfeeding pelicans and stuff like that. You hear a lot of the mystery, right? The lore. And I love the lore because it makes things really, it's like advertising without you really doing anything in a way, except being yourself. But I remember we were on a limo bus. They were taking us to the Super Bowl. Everybody's on their phones or something like that. Kevin just sitting there, just look. You look like the happiest guy in the
It's
thing.
it's this thing I do called breath work, and I think I said it one time in another interview.
Looking like you've been taking care of
but
some
like I'm
ass.
super into like Navy SEALs and shit. I like watch. Don't think I'm weird, but I am.
Oh yeah.
I just sit there and watch like videos of like the training that they do, and I watch people take the Navy SEAL test and fail, and then try to come back and do it. And I just watch that shit, and I be watching like David Goggins and shit like that. And it's like, you know, the first thing they teach them how to do is breathe. So that's why I be doing the box breathing, and it really help with anxiety.
Explain it to me.
You inhale for 4 seconds. It's like you pretend like you're looking at a box. You inhale for 4 seconds. You hold it. You exhale for 4 seconds, and then you hold it, and it keep you super calm.
And does it get a little scary at certain points or hard to remember? I guess you just get used to the pattern.
If you ever get off, you just reconnect to your breath. Because you're going to talk, you're going to interrupt yourself,
Right.
but then you reconnect to your breath, and it keep you calm, like no anxiety.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I get rattled pretty easy.
And I'm an overthinker, like, especially if I'm about to go somewhere, like, I put unrealistic expectations on myself about the outcome.
Yeah.
And we say that and I might say that I'm going in there with a positive attitude, but
Oh, I want to know everything.
Yeah.
I want to know how it's gonna go. I want to be able to like make sure I'm okay no matter what's going on.
I knew this shit was gonna be cool because I was already around you at the Super Bowl. I was like, man, that dude crazy.
Oh, I don't think anybody could out crazy you at this point, Kevin. You done
I
lost.
say, man, that dude
You
crazy,
lost
man.
everybody, man. It's gonna be a little hot. Do we have any ice? We don't have any.
I don't need no ice. I'm good.
I was kind of nervous to talk to you because I've known of you. You know, I'm from Louisiana, so I've known about you. Like
Louisiana bread.
even
Bro, it's
growing up.
fucking
I remember
lag,
the first
bro.
time I ever heard about you. This
save.
girl I was talking to from Bogalusa was like, "Have you heard of Kevin Gates?" And I thought it was a subdivision. And
It is.
It is? Really?
No,
Oh, damn, I didn't know. Like
it is now.
Kevin Gates. Damn, I said, I don't know. You know, I got a friend that lives in Meadowbrook or whatever, but I've never been over there. And she's like, no, you have to hear some of what this guy's doing. And it was intense. The first time I listened to your music, it reminded me the first time I saw UFC. I was like, some of this stuff is a little too hard for me, you know, because your stuff is it's not all of it, but some of it's graphic. It is real. It's it's really raw. That's my perception of it.
Yeah.
But so that's how I got introduced to you. Obviously, it was just from being in Louisiana. Do you miss those days in Louisiana coming up? What was that like for you,
that's
just kind
something
of
me and
coming
my
up
family.
when you look back on it now?
I'm grateful for Louisiana because it made me everything that I am right now. And the things that we cherish, other people don't really cherish when you go other places. And then with us having that Southern hospitality, we're like, yes, sir, no, sir. Don't call me that. You make me feel old when you go other places. But we used to catch whoopings for not saying yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
You know, I done been beat with extension cords and whatever they could find.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Go get a branch off the tree.
Go get something. Oh, dude, my mother would beat me with my younger siblings. She would. I'm like, God damn, both of us getting it.
Grab them by the ankle.
Yeah, like damn, what? What was some of like? Did you get to work with other artists? I know people ask you that kind of stuff all the time. But growing up, like when I was coming up, they had like Mr. P.
What is up with them?
Master P, Mystical.
Me and Master P did a song together, and I done.
Can you guys report server if you can hear me?
We talking about only Louisiana?
Yeah, I'm just talking about kind of that time in the 90s.
I done worked with Lil Wayne. I done worked with Master P.
Yeah, it's been pretty gay the last like.
If you want to go currently,
it's just
I
random
done worked
though.
with Fredo Bang, NBA YoungBoy, Tick.
Oh yeah, I heard that song you got with YoungBoy. I just heard it the other day.
I am who you say I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had, I'm trying to think, Partners in Crime, remember them?
Yeah.
It's that new misdemeanor with that motherfucker go. Dude, they had Partners in Crime, UNLV. Oh, was that UNLV? Pump the party.
UNLV.
They had, I'm trying to think of who else we love. Oh, Mystical was the best. Mystical was great, bro.
I like that bitch. I'm on that boot camp.
Yeah. Danger!
Yeah, I like
Keep
that.
He kind of had his own thing, and he had those horns in it.
Yeah,
I'm not
we
gonna
going
get
that way. I like Fiend, Mr. Magic. I liked everything that was coming out.
GG's homies.
You gotta say Soulja Slim.
Oh yeah.
You gotta say Soulja Slim.
Somebody didn't put me onto a lot of Soulja Slim.
You gotta say Stone and Leck. You gotta say the D-Boys. You gotta say all of them.
I think some of that I didn't get put on then.
Yeah.
But I love, dude, that was a special time, I felt like, in Louisiana, because there were so many eyes were focused on it. They had like just so much sound coming out of there.
Still do.
Yeah.
Like the sound different.
Oh yeah, well things have changed so much, but at that time I just felt like, I don't know, there was something really spectacular about it at that time.
We still got our own signature sound. Louisiana, like, that's what a flavor is. Like, you get a container of juice and you sit it on the table. The flavor falls to the bottom. You have to shake it up for the flavor to go to the top. Yeah. The flavor always
at
stay
the
on
bottom.
The bottom.
Yeah.
The bottom of the map.
That's it. The bottom of the map, man. The bottom of the boot. Yeah, dude, I love that time. That was a special time growing up, man. What was the styles that y'all had in our town? Because in Covington, we had like Jabot jeans, polo with the big horse. Remember, people would wear that sometimes. Hill figure.
I went polo crazy. I went polo crazy.
I could see that.
I went polo crazy.
I could see that.
Dead caps, collars, Jabots. I did Air Force Ones, but my thing was the Adidas Stan Smiths.
Oh, yeah.
I did the Adidas Stan Smiths.
I almost wore those today.
All day I dream about stats.
Yeah. Dude, that was a great time, bro. I mean, all times are great, but that was a special time. It's just something you and I can, we both have a little bit of similarity of that.
Yeah, I was born in '86, so.
Yeah, you're younger than me. Did you ever get to see Mystical around the way or no?
I seen him a few times when he was out of prison, but I haven't seen him since then.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I remember we go to the rec center over at Baton Rouge.
By LSU?
Yeah. And Master P and they would be in there playing ball with like Silk. I don't know if C Murder might have been in and out of there, but they definitely had Silk was in there.
Yeah, Silk stay out here now.
Does he?
Yeah, I be seeing him at 24 hour fitness.
Let's go.
Every now and then when I used to go there.
Yeah.
Just seeing him in that hoop and still hoop.
Yeah, that was a special time though, man. That was a big explosion I felt like for Louisiana rap. When you think of I know there was a lot of hustling and stuff when you grew up. What was it like the hustle? When people say I had to hustle a lot when I was young, what does that mean exactly?
Hustle?
Yeah, I know what it means. You have to grind, you got to stay busy, you got to figure things out.
You got to be locked in and you got to be
What was your hustle?
Yeah, whatever your hustle is, you got to give it 110%. Because being from Louisiana ain't really nothing to do but die or go to jail.
Yeah.
So whatever it is that you focus on, you got to be locked in. Like Juvenile say, we snatched all the holes and bowls and re-tennis. We didn't give a fuck if we balled for 3 minutes. I might have said it backwards.
That's look, man. We can edit it into the correct format. What was some of your hustles as a youngster? What kind of hustling did you have to do personally?
I started off washing cars.
Yeah. What, just like in the yard, you to put up a sign, or you get like a?
I started out working at they got a car wash on Corsi. And that was my first job, washing cars.
With the, like they had it inside and outside?
Yeah, inside and outside. I started on the back end. Yeah. And then I started being, like, once it come through the washer, you dry it off. And that's how I learned how to get the fender wells and the door jambs last.
Oh, yeah, why?
Because that's where all the dirt at. So if you drying the car off, you got to dry the body of the car first. Then you go back and get the door jambs and the fender wells last. That's where all the dirt at.
Because otherwise you're gonna get the rag dirty and put it everywhere.
You're gonna put dirt on it, yeah. And then even when you wipe the rims, you hold the towel and wipe the rims. You spray the tire off, but you hold the towel and wipe the rims on the inside, clean them real good.
Yeah.
And the best thing to clean windows, to wipe windows with is newspaper.
Oh yeah.
No streaks.
Yeah, why was that, I wonder?
I don't know. I know it don't leave no streaks, make it look good.
Yeah, that was nice. Dude, yeah, when I was growing up, washing your car was one of the best things you could do.
Of course.
Cause you leave that thing felt beautiful, boy.
That was your office.
Yeah.
That was your office. That was your escape. Ain't nothing like a little late night ride.
Yeah.
Waffle House.
Yeah. Dude, I remember exactly if I lit a cigarette at this one point right when I take off out of work, it would get me all the way home. I'd pull up right into the driveway when that cigarette was done. It was like this perfect kind of seance that I had in my life. I love that.
That was your first car?
My first car was an '84 Ford Escort. That bitch was chill, but somebody.
My first car was Nissan Sentra.
Yeah, really? What year was it?
I don't know, the old.
Pull one up. Just pull up a
10.
Pull up a 1990. Let's see what they got. Let's see if we close on it. That Nissan.
I was a little newer than that.
Nuh-uh, yeah, that's a little too old. Pull up a
2001. That's it right there.
Oh yeah, that bitch tasted, boy. Yeah. And so your first hustle was car washing. And did you get into stuff in the streets? Did you get into stuff that was kind of illegal type of stuff or not?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Not nothing major, but a little bit. I did a little something.
Yeah. Does it feel like if you grow up in certain areas that you have to do that?
You gonna want to. Them the only people getting money.
Right.
That's who the girls like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the girls like somebody got a little bit of cash.
Like I remember telling Gilly and Wallow, I was like, man, when I was young, I remember all I wanted was a car, some money, a girlfriend, and a gun.
Yeah.
Cause that's all you see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I gotta pull out a bankroll. That was just,
just to show it off.
Then they start calling it racks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got racks. We went from stacks to racks.
Yeah, I think do you think like over the years you hear like things have changed, like the hood, the block, the trenches, the mud, like there's always kind of this evolution of the name, I feel like.
I call it the section.
Yeah.
They from the section. They from our section.
Yeah.
Or they from out the section.
Yeah.
Like if you from my section, or you from my area where I'm at the time, that I'm like, oh yeah, he from out the section.
Right.
Or I'm going to ask him, or say I'm just coming home from jail and I see new faces. Like, who are they? They from out the section? Yeah, that's such and such people. Or that's such and such people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you feel like do you have to live in fear, like in the section? Do you feel like in a black area, do you have to live in fear? Did it feel like?
No, because it's anything that you do every day is gonna feel regular to you. You know, anything that is new to you. Say if it's new,
okay,
you're gonna be a little apprehensive. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to sit back, scope it out, and then you fall in. You in the mix now. But if you grew up in them type of environments, it ain't gonna feel like somewhere dangerous. It's gonna feel like home.
Ah, yeah.
So whatever go on, it just went on.
Right, you don't know any different.
But from the outside looking in, it's like, oh God, it's so horrible there. Da-da-da-da. But when you in it, it's like, man, that's my people. This is my auntie. This is my cousin. This,
This is the culture.
Yeah, it's like.
Right, a fish don't know it's in water, really.
It's family. You know.
Yeah. Do you think, because you always hear over the years, you hear like, we got to change these areas, right? You hear like, you'll have people, we got to make things safer, we got to change these areas. Do you think that the people actually in those communities, do you think they really want those communities to change, or that is?
If given the opportunity.
Does the question make any sense to you or no?
It make a lot.
Okay.
If given the opportunity, anybody would do better.
Right.
People do. A man, yeah, this is a wise quote. A man is what he knows, not what he's told. And I'll say it in like vernacular.
Okay.
A man is what he knows and not what he's told. You are what you know, not what you told. You are what you do, not what you say you will do. So I could sit around and somebody could tell me, man, you know what, you should change and you should do this, and there's so many other opportunities. But if I've never been exposed to these opportunities, all I know is what I know.
Right.
And that's what recidivism, that's people that repeat offenders, habitual offenders, because it's recidivism because they don't know anything but what they know. And I was like that. I was locked in, focused on one thing, till I started experiencing other things. I broadened my horizon. I opened my mind.
Yeah. Oh, I've watched a lot of interviews with you, man, and a lot of it's been really fascinating, man. I feel really thankful that you're here today.
I just took
time. What, an Ambien?
I just read about I just read about Laguna Beach. Like, this was in 2000 and
Good shit.
maybe 10 or 11, because I read a lot of like vampire novels and all of that.
Oh, damn.
So,
bro.
yeah, like I read a lot. I'm a record reader, so this was like way in 2000, maybe 10 or 11 that I read a book. When I was reading the book, they were talking about going to Laguna Beach. Last weekend, I just took my son to Laguna Beach for his birthday. So it was like kind of like a bucket list. Not a bucket list, but I was like, it'll be cool to go there. Like, even like with Palm Springs, I read about Palm Springs before, and I just passed through Palm Springs.
And they had vampires that were there?
And Rochelle Mead got this vampire academy, and one of the schools that they went to was in Palm Springs.
Yeah, boy. It's
So-
the older gay vampires probably over
I
there.
don't know, but it was so crazy that you say that, is because when you given the opportunity to do better, you will. If you never given that opportunity, you're not gonna do better. We could say, yeah, you just gotta overcome and stay focused and lock in. I think what the beautiful thing about Kevin Gates is, I have a very adventurous spirit, and I'm gonna try something. Like I love to try new things because it's how you create new neural paths. Like, even if you did it and you didn't like it, you still had the experience.
Yeah.
So you created like new neural paths, because if you do the same thing every day, you become stagnant in the mind. You become a robot.
You become a cul-de-sac too, your own cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
You
Like
know?
that's my biggest fear, is being complacent. I don't ever want to get stuck. So I did that. I went to the beach, and it was like, it unlocked a few things for me. It was like, we just took a road trip. It wasn't nothing but like 2 hours, but
We did it.
we did it.
Yeah, we did something different.
We did something different.
Yeah, because I wonder sometimes, like, because you always, like, you know, like, a lot of neighborhoods, especially if it's, like, impoverished neighborhoods, you know, they say that type of thing.
Predominantly black.
And predominantly black neighborhoods.
Fuck.
It's like, it's also those neighborhoods that give a lot of the culture its flavor and give it its story, right? Or some of its story, right? People say, like, I came out of this, I came through this, right? So sometimes I just wonder, like,
It's a bliss. It's the people that are blessed. I say that because you're looking at people that grew up in hardship, in the roughest conditions ever, but we made the best of what we had. And we didn't even know we was poor till we saw rich people.
yeah.
It's like when you go to other countries, third world countries,
yeah.
they don't even know they poor till they see people with more than what they have.
Yeah.
Like I was telling somebody one time, we just wanted a car. And then once we saw the Bentley, we wanted the Bentley. And then we wanted this and we wanted that because we saw it. But to answer your question about the people that come through that, I believe it's a rite of passage. It's like the movie Leonidas, when the boy went off into the wilderness and he came back a man. Like, you don't have no father figures or none of that in the house. You come from mostly single mother. Your mama at work, your grandmother raised you, things of that nature. And we had to go out there and just find our way. So it was like a rite of passage. And the beautiful thing about me is I had beautiful people in my life that kind of helped guide me and lead me and steer me in the right direction.
Yeah.
I made mistakes, I bumped my head, and I appreciate every one of them because they made me this. But to answer that question, I look at it more like a rite of passage.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. You know, men today face immense pressures to keep it all together, to provide, to just frickin' be a lieutenant in your own little world. It's a lot. It's responsibility. If you're a father especially, it adds more to it. And sometimes you struggle. And sometimes you struggle in silence. And that's the worst. That's the worst, man. I notice if there's things that are just eating up my brain, things that are bothering me so much that keep recurring, if I can get to a therapist and talk with somebody about it, suddenly my brain just exhales and everything feels like it's going to be a lot more possible. I've personally benefited from therapy through BetterHelp. And what I like about them is you can do it online, you can do it on the phone, you can switch therapists at any time. As the largest online therapy retailer in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/THEO. That's betterhelp.com/THEO. Is pornography causing a problem in your life? Do you find yourself watching porno for longer periods of time and having trouble stopping? Is porn affecting your relationship or dating life? Well, you're certainly not alone. Watching pornography has become so commonplace today, and oftentimes men use porn to numb the pain of loneliness, boredom, anxiety, and depression. Shame and stigma prevent men from talking about these issues and getting help for them. I want to introduce you to my friend Steve. Steve is the founder of Valor Recovery, a program to help men overcome porn abuse and sexual compulsivity. Steve is a long-term sexual recovery member and has personally overcame the emotional and spiritual despair of abusing pornography and has dedicated his life to empowering men to do the same.
Hell yeah.
Steve is an amazing person, and he is a close friend of mine. I mean that. Valor Recovery helps men to develop the tools necessary to have a healthier sex life. Their coaches are in long-term recovery and will be your partner, mentor, and spiritual guide to transcend these problematic behaviors. To learn more about Valor Recovery, please visit them at www.valorrecoverycoaching.com or email them at admin@valorrecoverycoaching.com. Thank you.
But a lot of time when we be having like,
I'm not touching.
our body just really needs salt.
Yeah.
We be dehydrated.
You know, I notice that happens more often.
Oh,
I feel like when I was a kid, you
dim.
didn't hear anybody talk about dehydration. Now I feel like people talk about it every day.
Because we ate salt. We cooked with seasoning. Louisiana
That's a
seasoning.
good point. People,
You don't hear people down there talking about you dehydrated. You eat a pickle. Country boy can't survive.
Yeah, bro, that was it.
Country boy can't survive.
That's a good point. Everybody had gout too. Everybody had sugar pressure, gout, salt pressure, everything.
Country boy can't survive.
Everything. That was it. You were practicing Muslim?
I'm Muslim.
Nice to see you today.
Oh, like, you talking about what I got on?
No, I think you.
Oh, no, this
Nice
ain't
to
got
see you
shit.
today.
No, it doesn't look like
I'm
that.
not that kind of Muslim.
No, I didn't know.
Oh, man. No, because I got the bow tie.
Oh, you thought that was part of the.
Maybe, man.
I'm so not sorry. Please forgive me.
Nuh-uh. I didn't know what you mean because you thought because I thought the bow tie.
Because the irony, it's ironic that I got the bow tie on. But I'm not that kind, but I'm. Like Dave Chappelle said, I'm not good at it, but you know, I do the best I do the best I can, you know.
No, I didn't know. I thought no. I feel like I didn't know what I thought. I just felt like, dang, Kevin. Yeah, I thought you just seemed like a.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's
yeah.
okay.
Dang, that's hilarious.
It was just funny because I had to. That's one thing I possess the ability to laugh at myself, and once I developed the ability to laugh at myself, life became so much more easier.
Let's talk about
that. If I slip and fall,
Yeah.
like every time we step outside, we for being judged. You know, if you went to school and you had to, oh God, I gotta say it. I got not to get off subject. I used to hate free dress day at school. Uniform saved my life.
Really?
Yeah, but
Why, you couldn't handle it?
I ain't had no clothes.
Oh, damn. Yeah, you just wore the uniform again like heaven.
Man, for free dress day, I wore a pair of my mama jeans to middle school and an old Tommy Hilfiger shirt and the same shoes I had been wearing to school the whole time. Man, they teased me forever. Then, you know how you got the faded part on the knees?
Yeah.
It was like, why your knees white? What, you been on your knees? Nah, that's the style. Everybody got distressed denim now.
Yeah.
So that was hard. That was the worst. But I said that to say this. If you possess the ability to laugh at yourself, you never have to worry about being ashamed of anything. Like,
What, I've heard you talk about that before. In fact, man, it's funny because one of the things
it's
that
okay to be human. You know what I'm saying?
well, you know, it was most of my life. It was hard for me to laugh at myself. A couple years ago, it's so
Tell me
funny.
about
A couple years ago, there was a moment that happened. I don't remember what it was, but I went, Theo. I just kind of laughed at myself and said my name. My whole life, I didn't realize my whole life, it had been this internal thing that had been just judging me always. And for the first time
We
ever,
are our worst critics.
but I just didn't realize how infected I'd been by judgment of myself.
But we're taught that because when we come outside, we judge by our peers, we judge by everything. If you do this, if you do that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know what? I'm going to be the best human I could be.
Yeah.
I don't care if I make mistakes. I'm gonna follow my heart. I don't care what nobody think. I swear to God, I'm gonna be the best human I could be. And something else I used to do
Man, oh man.
before I developed a greater sense of self-worth, I would overcompensate, and that's still a form of seeking validation. Like I would overextend and
Dude, what
I
the
would-
fuck?
overextend myself as far as just the person I am, not to be liked. I was doing this because this is what I really wanted somebody to do for me.
Yeah.
So I would overextend and just overshare and overlove and over everything. I would do it to the most. But this is the love that I should have been giving myself.
Bro,
Everybody's on that.
there'll be times I'll text this over the past 2 years. I noticed this will happen for me. I'll text somebody, "Hey man, just wanted to remind you you're a great guy,
And
and
I
I'm so
wish-
proud of you." Right?
I wish somebody would tell me that.
And as I'm typing it to them, tears will come out of my face. And I didn't realize, and it's a nice thing to say to them. And a lot of times it's a person I'll have enough of a connection with where like we share a lot of similar experiences so we can, you know, we'll say that type of thing to each other. But man, sometimes as I'm sending that, because really I just like, that's what I always needed.
Yeah.
Right?
The
Oh
dude
my
who
God.
did my guns
They just
on
keep
my
cutting
hand,
each other off
my
and
gun
never in the
tattoo,
play.
his name, Trevin Spielman. Well, some people call him Trevon or Trevin. I call him just T.
Okay.
Or my brother. But
Where does he do it? He's out of Louisiana or where?
I'm about to
Texas?
tell you.
Okay,
He
sorry.
used to always
Sorry.
make jokes. He used to always laugh. He used to always check on everybody else. And he sent me a text message.
God,
I got
fucking
on the flight
retard,
and went
bro.
to California. When my flight landed, the last
Yeah,
text
I'll go.
message, he was like, "I don't think I could do this anymore."
It's
Then I
Kevin
found out he killed
Gates
himself.
and Theo Vaughn.
So it's like oftentimes the people that
Kind of boring, actually. I was watching it for a bit. I'm 30 minutes in, but it kind of sucks. So let's go.
Like his run.
Let's
And
listen.
Ron, would you
Let's
say-
listen to Daddy Trump.
Sure. Well, thank you, Mr. President. Welcome back to Florida. And I think this is the first time you've been back since the events of a couple weeks. So just let me say, as somebody that was serving on active duty in Iraq back in the day, we witnessed the number of our troops that were killed or wounded by the Iranians. We know that they're a militant Islamic regime that was hell-bent on getting nuclear weapons, and under Joe Biden, they were about to get nuclear weapons. And because of your strong actions, those dreams and those ambitions have been reduced to rubble. And I thank you. I know a lot of veterans thank you, and people in Florida really thank you for stepping up and really making a strong, tough, but strong decision. I think we're much safer as a result of that. Now, on the immigration, I think President Trump's election represented the chance for us to finally solve this illegal immigration and border problem once and for all. I knew he was going to do the border, although he did it very quickly and very thoroughly. I think that no one can say that that's been anything but a spectacular success. But then we have the issue of Biden let in how many millions of people? And you had millions that had been in over decades previous to that. You can't have a country if you don't have respect for the rule of law. You can't have a country if foreigners get to decide who comes in. No, we the American people make that decision, who's allowed or not allowed to come into our country. We've seen Europe be overrun by open borders, so we're not going to let that happen here. So when President got elected, I knew that the states had an important role to play in facilitating this really, really historic mission. We're the only state in America, in Florida, that requires full cooperation with ICE from all state and local law enforcement entities. And what is the net result of that? We have these agreements.
Lizzie, thanks for stopping on
G
Kick.
task
Appreciate
force
that.
with
Let's see what else we got.
This is crazy.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Bronx. This is where AOC says she's from.
The Bronx.
And this is where AOC is actually from. Welcome to Yorktown, the business hamlet of Yorktown Heights. There's mansions.
There are moments in Monster Hunter that happen and they just stay with you.
Honestly, I'm probably just gonna bail out and make some lunch, guys. I'll be back in about